live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello, hello, hello.
I am Jarrett, the football genius Burgess.
And I am Stephanie Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. the Advantage Coach.
And this is episode 75 of the Fields
I
of the
gave
Real
it back
podcast.
to you, so I don't know. You got 3 out of me.
What's helped me is over the last couple of weeks, because we record on Friday now.
Yeah.
So the day that you're hearing this is the same day that we recorded.
Right.
Well, for those of you who are listening through audio means.
Right.
If you're viewing the podcast and it was recorded a few days
The Friday before. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, because like we record and go right into editing, like it's easier to remember now the number of the podcast because it's like no delay in
right.
it gets recorded and all that. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So episode 75.
All right. That's a milestone all in itself. So
yeah, it is.
To us. Yes.
25 away from 100.
Oh my gosh. That's so crazy.
25 away from 100.
So crazy.
Let's dive right in because Just Who's Really Right is one of my favorites. And it's funny how like
one of your favorites.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites that we've ever done. and
Sure.
I think you know why.
Okay.
But it is who will be the number one pick in this upcoming NBA draft.
Okay.
And
you go first.
As always, I'm going to offer for you to go first, but I know you want me to go first.
Oh, I want you to go first.
Now, a couple of years ago, this great big personality jumped on the scene to promote his son.
Oh, that's what you calling him now. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He jumped on the scene to promote his son. Well, his son being Lonzo Ball, him being LeVar Ball. And everything he spoke as far as getting his son to the Lakers came to pass. Right? Now, he was promoting this son when the whole time the son who would be the son that he would need to promote was still in high school and just beginning high school. And that son is, wait, what's his name? I really just drew a blank right there. Excuse me, LaMelo.
Melo. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So it's LaMelo, D'Angelo. Yeah.
Lemon Jello and orange Jello and all that. Yeah.
So LaMelo, who anybody could see, even as a 14-year-old, was the better of the 3 sons.
Okay.
And even though he didn't take the traditional route where he didn't play out his final years of high school basketball, he ended up going overseas and playing professionally, which at the time
that already
looked like a very bad idea. I feel has paid dividends because he is the most talented prospect in this year's draft. And I don't even think that is close. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Wiseman. I feel like he would be after, but I think that in this game that is dominated by guard play, I think LaMelo is leaps and bounds the number one prospect in this draft. And I think he'll go number 1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves unless they decide to trade out.
Okay.
What you think?
You done?
Mm-hmm.
No. 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 So No bias in my pick. Let me start by saying that this is not bias in my pick. It is not. This young man is from Atlanta. And he did play for the University of Georgia. But I believe that Anthony Edwards is the favored for the Wolves.
Okay.
The young man is being compared to people like Dwayne Wade. That's huge. That's a huge, yeah. I mean, listen, we know Dwayne's storied career in Miami. So we understand that he was one of the best. He has consistently been one of the best. So I feel like this young man's athleticism and the only knock on him, I think they say, is maybe his free throw shooting, but his ability to his ball handling is ridiculous. Like, so I just feel like I don't know. Let me say, look, I'm going to just read what this says. The consensus among those who evaluate the NBA draft is that there isn't a bona fide superstar, but their top pick is Anthony Edwards. I feel like not only from the standpoint, so you're talking, I'm not taking away from LaMelo's, what's his name? LaMelo's abilities, because he is great. He is amazing. And you can't substitute for the fact that he's been playing professional basketball for the last, 2 years now? He's been playing professional basketball, even though it's been overseas. Is it 3?
Yeah, because LiAngelo, he took LiAngelo and LaMelo overseas right after LiAngelo got into that trouble in China, right? And that was 2017? Maybe maybe it was 2. Maybe it was 2.
2018.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I just feel like, he's gotten he's an amazing talent, and I'm not taking away from him. But I feel like some of the knock that's going to come to him is because of that personality that you talked about. Nobody wants him involved.
Right. Well, which is why you haven't heard from him.
Well, but that doesn't mean he won't show up. Listen,
I think he understands the harm he's done with Lonzo, because the reality is the transcendent point guard that LeVar told us that Lonzo would be
is who
LaMelo is.
I want to just keep calling him LaMelo. Yeah, LaMelo. Oh God.
LaMelo is, and so it really jumps off the film, and you can see that he's don't get me wrong, I don't think Lonzo is a bad player, and I think he still has the ability to be an all-star. But LaMelo, from watching what he's done against grown men, he is transcendent. Like we always talk about, and I know you're not that fond of the game that my GOAT plays. We call it bully ball.
Bully ball it is, yes.
But as a point guard, and he led the league in assists this year, like we talk about his floor vision. And some of the same things that I see from him and that I've seen from Magic, I see in this tape from LaMelo. And I know that is some tough shoes to fill, but like it jumps off the screen. Like some of the passes, some of the ways that he gets his team, like you can just see kind of the, like, you can't really conceptualize it, but you see that he sees the floor differently than a lot of these players. And so I think he's the clear number one overall pick.
Nope. I'm still going to say, and you got to think, I mean, I know that the Timberwolves don't, from what I've read, like they're what's his name? What's the guy's
Angela
name?
Russell?
Who? No,
Oh,
Rosas, their president.
Oh, okay.
So he's not he doesn't pick based on where they need, but 6 out of the 7 mock drafts have Anthony Edwards going to them because that is where they do have a need. They don't need Wiseman because they got big men. They don't need a point guard. They need.
No, they got D'Angelo Russell.
They need what he brings to the table. And as much as he plays a position, he's just an athlete, and so they need that. And so I feel like because of, I know they don't typically pick out of need, but when it's available, you getting the first pick, I think you should go for it. You know what I mean? I think they'll go for it. So 6 out of the 7 mock drafts have him going first too.
Wow.
I ain't by myself, just so you know.
Well. Well, thankfully, with these Who's Really Rights, we do see
real
point of who we have
real.
Yeah, we do have a point of seeing who was really right. Yeah. And so once the draft comes, we'll revisit this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that I should get a prize when Minnesota either trades out of this pick to acquire more assets.
That ain't what we're talking about, but okay.
Well, no. I'm saying LaMelo's going to be the number 1 overall pick.
Overall. Okay.
So if Minnesota, I don't know if they've proven to be such a smart organization because they got rid of Jimmy Butler, and you know how I feel about Jimmy. But if
everybody ain't able to deal with crazy, that's all
I know, because we see what happened to the franchises who haven't been able to deal with it. Look like they're dealing real fine down there in Miami, because Brett Brown had them last year, and they were 1 shot away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals, definitely, but possibly the finals, because I think they were a better overall team than the Raptors.
Yeah. Okay.
And that band broke up, and the coach got fired, and they talking about trading away one of their 2 best players, and it's just a whole mess.
When I say a mess in Philly, it's a mess.
Yeah.
Yes. But y'all let us know who's really right. Yeah. And before the draft, like, tell us who you think's really right.
Yeah, don't wait till the draft.
Like, we want to know now. Yeah, like, who you think is really right. Like, who is it that because just say the Timberwolves have the number 1 pick. So as it stands right now, who would they pick? But the question is, who would be the number 1 overall pick? Yep. All right. Y'all go ahead. Look, I don't even listen. I don't even go through that no more. It's like
that's because you leave who's really right all the time.
Just saying.
All right.
Okay.
The NFL has had 77 false positive COVID tests
in
results.
In like a span of 2 days or something. Yes. It was weird. Like, it was not even a lot of time. Like, yeah. Anyway, y'all see my face if you're watching this, because I'm so confused by this.
And this right here, this type of stuff coming out gives you, allows you to have no faith in the testing or these sites who come with the results. Because if you're just going to have false positives and you're going to get the test to truly see if you have it and if you are, indeed walking around without symptoms, then just throw the whole thing away.
So the lab said, so they the NFL has contracted with this particular lab, and they've got, I think they said 4 sites across the country that they send all of the tests to take care of, and this one was in New Jersey, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't understand. I guess my thing is, how did it get to the point where you would have a whole slew of people's tests just be positive? I don't understand that. I don't get, like, I'm concerned more about the fact that, how do you know? I mean, I know they retested them. I guess it's how they know they were false positives.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, beyond this being an NFL issue that we talked about, like, this is scary because if you can't trust the test, then what are we doing? Like you just said, like, if you can't trust the test, then what are we doing? But even for the average Joe Blow out here taking tests and getting them done, what does that mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you getting tests that say you yeah, I don't know. Listen, COVID, are you listening? Just go away.
Yeah.
How about that?
Please.
Just
magically disappear, and
the same way
we'll
you showed up. We good.
Yeah.
We got you. Yeah, but this makes no sense to me. I don't. Yeah, and I'm questioning all of it. It makes me question everything, not just testing, but just from the NFL. I already like, are y'all like hiding? Like, it just makes you start to think about a whole bunch of different things. Well, like, wait, what?
The fact that it's false positives makes me think it may be on the other side, right? Because I would think that the NFL would be trying to make sure, even if people are positive, making sure it was negative.
Right. True.
This might be somebody who's saying, listen, we need to shut this thing down. So let's just make them all positive.
All positive, so they'll stop playing. Yeah. It was just crazy to me. I mean, because really and I saw like this process that they go through because one of the Falcons, I can't remember which one it was, did a day in the life. Mm-hmm. And so he kind of had his phone and whatever he did, he showed that day. And so it had me feeling pretty good. Because I was like, okay, well, I see the process they go through. They got to go through all this screening and testing, and every day they go in, they getting like, that's awesome. But then when this came out, I was like, well, shoot, like, wait, crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. This is crazy. Yeah. Okay, we stay in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna stick with the NFL on this one.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell is admitting that he didn't handle the cap situation so well, and that maybe we should have listened to Colin. So, on the one hand, let me first say it is great that he came out and admitted that he was wrong, because he could have continued to play this word game with us, where he, insinuates that we should have listened to Colin Kaepernick and that, police shooting unarmed black men is a problem in our country. But on the other hand, it's very convenient to come out and say this now.
Well, it's necessary.
The same thing was happening 4 years ago.
Was it yesterday? Yesterday was the anniversary of when he first knelt.
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
I think it was yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. Yeah.
Oh, so he did it in the preseason. Mm-hmm. He did. He started off in preseason because he was sitting first. Mm-hmm. And then that's when he had the conversation with Nate Boyer, I believe. Mm-hmm. Was he a SEAL or was he? I don't know.
Yeah, I
think
he
was in some form of the armed services, and that's
so
who told him that
4 years to the day almost that he did that. So I think that's part of why
he came out and said something.
He came out and said something because it's necessary. First of all, I'm gonna say this. no matter his motive,
Mm-hmm.
in any of this, anything he said or done up till now, in regards to these situations that have occurred, I'm still gonna say I hope that it serves in a positive way for the views that go forth from the owners, moving forward. Because when your top man says, "Okay, listen," he was right all along. We should have been, because honestly, I think that part of his motivation too is when the NBA did what it did this past week, the impact that can have, NBA, MLB, MLS, the impact that can have upon society. He's seeing that, wow, had we allowed these people to have a voice 4 years ago, we could have avoided, listen, we don't even know how many. We just know a few that get sprinkled that we see because of video or whatever in the news.
Right.
But how many Black men and women, brown people as well, that could have been saved?
Yeah.
Had we allowed the voice of the people who have the influence, like they see now with the NBA, MLB, and MLS in their boycotting, had they been able to just have a voice back then, we may not even be in this situation to where they would be boycotted. So I feel like, irregardless of his motive, I feel like admitting it, hopefully then is a trickle down into these owners. And they will truly get behind their players who look like the people, most of whom look like the people who are being targeted. And they will come up with some real solutions and allowing them to use their platform. Yeah. The same way the NBA has allowed the players to use their platform to speak out against this. Right. And it's really going to take, honestly, it's really going to take those people that people look at and pay attention to, like athletes, pro athletes and entertainers, to truly be, look at what's happened over the last, 3 months? How many people have been out in the street protesting?
Yeah.
It's had an impact, but these dudes and these women doing what they do, the WNBA, the NBA, all of that is more, it's because of our society, it's just real. That's more impactful. Yeah. So I hope that, I don't really care why he did it. I'm glad he did it, and I hope that it has a positive effect. That's all I listen. At least you're going in the right direction, Goodell. Right. Like Adam Silver been on this page, so at least you're going in the right direction.
Probably should take a page out of Adam Silver's book. Cause
go have a conversation with that dude. Like literally, y'all need to go grab
your approval rating
lunch.
ain't nowhere near his.
Well, you got Anyway.
Yeah.
So all right.
All right. How do you feel about these parents of the football players in the Big Ten who are protesting the shutdown of football in the conference?
I'm not. This is one of those situations where it's so weird. I understand from the kid standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. But as a parent, and I'm not a parent. You're a parent, so you can speak to this, but I'm not a parent. But I do feel like my kids, the kids that I've worked with, they my children.
You love, they your children.
Like, they're my children.
Right.
And so if it came down to putting them in harmful situations, things that I don't have enough information to really say they'll be safe, it bothers me that they have taken this stance. And I told you this when we talked about this in the production meeting, that one of the things, because I've been in sports and working with sports and being around, my ex-husband was a basketball coach. So I've been around sports, all of this for a while, and seeing parents who are so vested in their children in this way, or are not so, are vested in their children in this way is disturbing.
Yeah.
Because typically it's one or two reasons. One, you are living vicariously through your child.
Mm-hmm.
Or two, you are banking on your child to be your bank.
Right.
Either one is not good.
Mm-hmm.
For a reason to put your child in unknown harmful circumstances. The CDC just came out the other day and said that aerosol is the greatest transmitter of this virus.
Wow.
And if you don't know, that means what comes out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm on the football field and we face to face,
mm-hmm.
or I tackle you, or you breathing on me, I'm breathing on you, you
mm-hmm.
spitting, you're doing all kinds, even the quarterbacks yelling out, there's stuff going. That is the greatest way. and again, we had this conversation before, you all haven't been able to figure out a bubble, which is seeming to be the only way that this is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a bubble, my child is at greater harm.
Right.
Being in this space, I know outside is better, but if you this close to me, outside doesn't matter either. So I, as a non-parent parent, I think it is irresponsible and reckless on these parents' part. And if the motive, and if I'm wrong and your motive is I'm looking at my child and I'm seeing the hurt and I'm just standing up for their rights, that's one thing. But even at that, I'm not going to go out here. I'm not going to do this for you because I don't want to see you out there.
Right.
I'm sorry. I love you enough not to go do this for you. So even if that's the reason, even if it's not the vicariously living through them, even if it's not looking at them as your bank, even if it's just I love my child enough to stand by them, sometimes you just got to be a parent and be like, nope, I'm not going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to stand by you while you do X, Y, Z. No, I'm not.
It's disappointing. We don't know enough about this virus. We're getting things every few weeks that we didn't have any idea about. And we had the production meeting the other day. We talked about the young lady who caught COVID, who recovered from it, only to pass away a couple of months later from a stroke that was, from her doctors, caused by the damage of COVID. That adds a whole new layer to this thing, because it's not just about catching COVID and dying from the actual disease. Right. It's about what it does to your body and how that can affect you going forward. And we understand the immediacy of COVID and possibly succumbing to that. And I just don't understand parents after seeing that. Like, it's gambling.
It is such a gamble. That is a great way to put it. Like, I can't gamble with my kid.
Right.
Come on.
Why would you want to?
I don't have children, and I'm about to cry just thinking about it, because I can't gamble with any of my babies that aren't my babies. I didn't give birth to them, but I'm not gambling with not one of your lives. I don't care. Like, it isn't worth it. I don't care what we got to do. It's not worth it.
I hear, and I've heard this from some of my friends who feel like, it's not the number of the people catching it and the number of the people dying. In comparison, the number of deaths
it's very
is low.
minute, but it's still too many.
Exactly. One is like, do you want to be the one?
The one, like
You know
you
what I'm
saying
saying?
it like that, so callous, but yeah.
And so that's the unfortunate part.
That's the stance that this presidency is taking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well,
it
the
is
number's
what it
not
is.
so bad because, look how many people got it, but because when we really get to the just try to put 200,000 people in a space and see how many people. That is not a little number.
Mm-mm.
I don't care what the percent says. We're talking about people. Yeah. Anyway.
Gambling with the people.
And you gambling with your kid is crazier than, because he don't care about anybody. So I get it from his perspective. But I'm talking about parents. You gambling with your child.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah.
All right. Because it just disgusts me to even think about.
Yeah, like real talk.
Let's move on to something we've seen over the last couple of days, or something we saw a couple of days ago in the Milwaukee Bucks refusing to take the court for Game 5.
Yeah, they started the domino effect, which I love. And
they would seem to do it. One of the things that I loved about it was, I think that if Milwaukee had have said that they weren't going to do it, and the other players made the decision like, we're going to play anyway, it would have really been a bad look. Yeah. And so for all of them to stand in solidarity like that, I truly appreciated that part.
Yeah. For sure. And they had to be the one to start it.
Yeah.
It was in Milwaukee.
It was in Milwaukee. It was in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. So it had to be them that kind of stood their ground and said, this is not. And if anybody's out there who may be under a rock and didn't know, this is about Jacob Blake.
Yes.
The young man who was shot 7 times in the back by police officers as he reached into his car to check on his children. So, okay, so y'all see my shirt today. I'm gonna talk about this now. I wore this on purpose today because I feel like this is all of our fight. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what political background where your beliefs fall in that respect. I don't care what your religious black background is. We need to see something different in this country right now. And so this shirt says, write the change, speak the change, be the change. And our friend, who actually was the visionary for this podcast, Melissa D. White.
Shout out to Melissa.
When Michael Brown was killed, she had the inspiration to say, I need to do something to help young people have a voice. Mm-hmm. And so she started Righting Our Wrongs, which is the organization that this tagline belongs to. Mm-hmm. And so I think that we all need to take a moment out of our I don't want to call it selfishness, but our being in our own bubble of world or whatever, to really say we want to make a change. And so I wore this shirt as inspiration today to say we got to be a change. The Bucks said we're going to be a change. And they started something that transcended NBA. Yeah. It went to the MLB. It went to the MLS, WNBA. So
NFL.
Well,
the
yeah,
Lions,
because they didn't have practice.
Then,
they didn't. Yeah, And so because of that, like, I just feel like everybody needs to search within themselves. What is it that I can do to be the change?
Yeah.
Some of that is writing. Some of us need to start writing. Some of us need to start speaking out. It's something that you can do to be the change. And for the young people, listen, take this seriously.
Right.
Look it up. Parents, if you got go to rightingourwrongs.org, like literally, because I feel like this is a true moment for our young people and old, but especially our young people to have a voice.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah. So good job, Bucks. For stepping up in this time. Good job. Let's just see what happens. What happens?
Right. What happens after this?
What is this? What does this mean? Like, I want us to. The one thing that I'm going to say that I know that we can all do is vote.
Yes.
We can all vote.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just in the presidential election. I know that people are in the space of, feeling all whatever about about the sitting president. But
our president's black.
Right, pretty much. But your local elections are even more important when it comes to eradicating things like we've seen in these situations where these black men have been being killed, because that's where you get to choose the people who make the decisions for your area.
Right.
So please use your voice, not just in protest and not just in whatever, but go vote. That's your voice as well. Sorry for the PSA in the middle of our podcast, y'all. But
listen,
we in this place.
For the people.
We in this space.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
We for the people. So yes.
Yeah.
Take your talents to the ballot box.
All of you. And this is, our show is for anybody, but we have a affinity for collegiate athletes. And so each of you that is 18 and older, please. It's so many NFL players that I've read stories about recently who are said, we didn't vote before because we didn't think it was necessary. Our voices weren't important, or we've been lied to and said that we couldn't because of blah, 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 or we shouldn't because it don't matter. And so many of them have come out and been speaking like, I'm going to vote for the first time, and I'm 25 now. That's probably 2 elections that they missed, and several in their local places that they've missed. So, so for them to be able to have this opportunity to, at 18, that's an honor and a privilege, and take it. Honor and privilege, so take it. Go vote. Period.
Shout out to my Bison, who the young men on
getting around to.
The young men on the team have been shooting like little commercials for the entire campus to make sure that they go get registered to vote.
Good. Awesome.
I believe the entire team, they did something for all of them to get registered.
That's awesome.
They had them all get registered together. So
that's right. Other colleges take notes.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that, take note. Like, that's exactly what you do. You know that these athletes on your campus are your influencers. Right. Use them. Listen, in athletes, if you got a coach or a system where they're not doing this, you need to use your voice to say, no, we need to do this. Yeah. We need to be the ones to make to push and influence our peers to go and vote. Right. So for sure, love it. Awesome. Yeah. I don't know why I feel so political all of a sudden today. But okay.
Well, I mean, the Cheeto can have that effect. I think I may have said something about this last week, but I saw some somebody, I can't remember her name. Crystals. I've seen her on some podcasts before. Definitely the one with Charlamagne and Andrew Schultz, and I seen her on his show, and I saw her tweet something calling him the Cheeto the other day, and I just fell out laughing because she's the first person I heard say that.
That is him. That is him. Yeah. So thank God the RNC is over. Yeah. Thank God. Like, get off my TV. So.
Right. All right.
So yeah. All right.
On to the real. Now we owe this young man an apology.
I didn't say. I said what Jeff said. I didn't say that.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about CJ McCollum and him getting all of these bottles of wine shipped to him.
87 bottles shipped to him in the bubble. Yeah.
And when we said that, we had absolutely no idea that CJ McCollum is one of the few Black winemakers in Oregon's Oregon's like wine country, which is, you know, renowned
right. They're world renowned. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so his wine called McCollum Heritage 91 will debut in September after being harvested.
In September of 2018, it was harvested, and then it was bottled in August of 2019.
Okay.
So they've been aging it. The wine has been aging.
So
it comes out next month because it's been aged for over a year now.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So the bottles that he got were just for himself, and hopefully he's pulling. He's pulling the Jimmy Butler and he's selling them on down there.
Well, and he should, because he got some wine connoisseurs down there. You got Jimmy is a wine connoisseur. Mm-hmm. Mello is a huge,
Mello too. Yeah,
he's a huge wine connoisseur. Mm-hmm. You got your goat, and it's one other person that I know that's there that's like really, really into wine, and I can't think of who it is right now. But good market. Mm-hmm. Good market. Like, hey,
might be passing,
they can buy
those bottles out.
Right. Just saying.
Hey, can I try this? And so the next time you want some wine, go ahead and
get this McCollum Heritage 91. There you go. Right.
But
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, shout out to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right. Once basketball is over for him,
he got it already.
He got it already mapped out. So
he ain't even gonna have to do nothing. That's the beautiful thing. Like, he got OPE going on.
Right.
Other people's efforts. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right.
Feel good final thought?
Yeah.
The Los Angeles City Council has made the decision to name a street after the late great Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Near Staples Center.
Figueroa Street.
Yeah.
They're changing the name to Kobe Bryant Boulevard. Yeah.
And that was something very nice to hear, especially after 8/24 just passing, and that being Dean Mamba Day.
Yeah.
But also his birthday just passed.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to honor his memory and his legacy.
Absolutely.
Having a whole street named after him. I believe he already has does he already have the statue in front of
I think so. It was already, like, that was done. Yeah.
Right after he retired.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was after he retired that they did that. Yeah.
I knew Shaq's was out there, but I couldn't remember.
No, his is out there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's out there. So that's one of those eyeball sweats for me.
Yeah, me too. Cause
me and Jamia, like we were talking yesterday. We were talking about where we were at the moment we heard. Like, I remember, like,
that'll forever be ingrained in me.
Yeah, I told her, for me, it's like a 9/11 type moment for me. Not that it's on the magnitude, but it was, for me as a sports fan and as a Kobe fan, it was a 9/11 moment for me. Right. Like, wait, what?
You'll forever remember where you were and what you were doing.
Absolutely. I know exactly where I was then, and I know where I was when I heard this. Yeah.
Well, I think that's some good. Where were you? Both times. Where were you?
So for 9/11, my dad had just come to my dad had just come to my townhouse for us to go to the courthouse to get his business license.
Okay.
So I was literally in my townhouse. My dad was sitting on my couch, and I walked back downstairs and I saw the TV and I was like, "What are you watching?" I thought he was watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "What are you watching?" And he was like, "No, this is really happening." I was like, "What?" And so we sat and we watched it together. So I remember that distinctly. And with Kobe, one of my coworkers here in Charlotte was having a birthday brunch. And we were at the birthday brunch, and her boyfriend said, "Kobe Bryant just died." And I looked at him, I was like, whatever, because they have all those hoaxes all the time. I was like, whatever,
Right.
nuh-uh. And so then everybody started like getting on their phone, and I was like, remember, because I text you, I was like, wait, I was like, it's TMZ though, because I don't know about that. And so I was like, until I see it on ESPN, I ain't gonna believe it. So literally I started like refreshing ESPN, and when it finally said breaking news, everybody got their food to go. And we just left.
So with 9/11, I was sitting I was in English 4. It was my 12th grade English class. I was sitting in, because it was Tuesday morning. I was sitting in English class, and someone ran into our room because we all had TVs in our room, and I didn't even know that things worked. But somebody ran into our room and told us somebody just ran a plane into one of the Twin Towers. So the person came in and they turned on our TV. Soon as they turned on the TV, it was showing live the second plane hitting the second building.
Oh.
And we're watching it in real time, and we're like, this can't be real. A few moments later, we heard about a plane hitting the Pentagon.
Yep.
Which is probably less than 5 miles away from where my high school is.
Wow.
We all got out of that class and went home.
Wow.
With the news of Kobe, you were actually the first person I heard from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was at LA Fitness, Acres Mill, on the leg press machine. And I just so happened, my phone gives me, I have an app that gives me the workouts. And log in the workout, and I see your name pop up. I click on it, and I look, and I hear you telling me, I see you asking me, I think you were asking me, about Kobe. I don't know if it was confirmed yet.
No, it wasn't at that point. I was saying, did you see about Kobe Bryant? That's
right.
Probably
and I'm
like,
that can't be real. So I immediately get up and go in the locker room. They have a big screen TV, and I go sit down, and I'm like asking folks in there, had they heard about it?
Yeah.
And it took maybe about a good 30, 40 minutes. And so I stayed in that locker room the entire time.
Yeah.
And finally, because it was a game one, I think it might have been a basketball game. Finally, it came up on the ticker. Yeah. And then the announcers made a comment about it. And I got up, did not finish my workout, and went home.
Yeah.
And we were just sick the rest of the day. Me and my friends, like, just talking about it, like how awful this news was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something I'll never forget. I'll never forget that moment.
Never.
Because you were the first person to text me. I looked at it and I was like, nah, that can't be real.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Folks like Kobe Bryant bow out gracefully. They get old. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. No, he did everything right. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't leave when he was diminishing because he was still the man. So he left on top, essentially.
Right.
And so Coach's pep talk this week was that you'll see this week is kind of because of Kobe. Kobe kind of inspired it,
that one.
and because he was excellent at everything he did. Like he tried to be excellent at everything he did. So it just the man is missed. Let's just say that. The man is missed. Yeah. So this is a great tribute to him.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's
Oh,
wait, the show picks for my eyeball starts sweating.
Yeah, no. I was trying to hold it together. Okay. All right.
What you watching? What you been watching?
So I'm late to the party, y'all. Like I never saw it when it was actually on. But I've been watching Jane the Virgin.
Let me give y'all a little backstory, y'all.
Oh God.
Stephanie done had this on the list every week for the last 2-3 weeks. And then something else will hit her and she changes it. Like, no, I know this. I'm gonna put this one on.
Okay. Cause I mean, like there's a show on, oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, I got two then. Because there's another show that is absolutely bonkers. You have to go watch this, Jarrett. It's called Baywatch Moms, Baywatch Parents, I think it's called.
Is this a sitcom or is it a reality show?
No, this is a reality show, and it's BAE Watch, not Baywatch, like the
Baywatch.
So the premise of this show is that they send a couple on vacation, but their parents are watching the entire time. When I say entire, I mean when they out, when they in their bedroom, all of it.
Lord, my parents. They ain't need to. My parents.
You're not ready for this.
Okay?
You're not ready for this one. I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying.
Lord, I gotta watch that. That's.
Oh my God, it's so horrible. And so it's really like because the parents get to decide after watching whether these two should stay together or not.
Okay.
Because one of the parents is having some sort of
issue with
like
the other,
wondering about one of the two in
partner.
Yeah. It is cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I said, where do they come up with this stuff? It's crazy. So yeah. So I got two. But yeah, Jane the Virgin is awesome. It's amazing. I love it. It's funny. It's something good and funny to watch. So for me, that's what it's been.
I'm trying to. What is it on?
It's on Netflix.
It's Netflix. Okay, I've seen it somewhere, but I don't remember if I saw it on Hulu or.
Yeah, Netflix. It's on Netflix. It's all 5 seasons, 100 shows.
Yeah. So the show that I've been watching is The Game, and I went back after I found out that it was on Hulu. I went back. I just started watching it, rewatching it, and you remember I texted you and I was like, man, it's so funny how my life mirrors that of Derwin Davis, and I'm speaking more so about like when I was in college.
Clarify.
Speaking more so about when I was in college, like just some of the things that he went through, you know, good and bad. And then I saw that Drew Sidora episode the other day, and I was like, well, I ain't had no Drew Sidora, but I'm all out here talking about how that mirrors my life.
Right. Oh, okay, but no.
But like even still, like just in watching some of the episodes, like you can see when he started to get a big head, when he started, you know, some of that stuff.
Itself.
Yeah.
And
Like
by the way, it's on Netflix now too.
Is it? Oh wow. I wonder how.
It's on Netflix now too.
I guess maybe they don't like some of those places that have them don't do like an exclusive deal straight through.
And I think like because like Jane the Virgin, and it's a couple of other shows that are CW shows. I don't know if CW has exclusive rights like that with anybody. You get what I'm saying? So like stuff that would be on, like I think NBC is like that too. Like that's how you see Marlon and all of that on those NBC shows, Parks and Recs, all that kind of stuff.
That makes sense.
You
though,
don't
because
see a lot of ABC or CBS shows
Mhm.
necessarily on those, so they might have more tighter reins on how theirs
Yeah.
gets distributed.
FX too, because I think FX really has like some type of partnership deal with
Hulu. They owned by the
because-
same people,
yeah.
so that's why
that makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and who else?
Mm-hmm.
It was something else that I was gonna say that Marlon was on Hulu for a while, and then it got ripped down, and then you saw it on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, they must have made
Mm-hmm.
the decision that
Mm-hmm. That's who they're gonna go with exclusively,
yeah.
probably. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's an NBC show too. So that's probably why they might have a exclusive with NBC. Netflix might have an exclusive
Right.
with NBC. Yeah.
And so all their shows get put on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we at the end of another one.
Yeah.
This one almost
it's been
ain't
a
happened.
long right. Y'all don't understand.
We had a whole.
We literally talked for almost an hour and a half before we started.
The podcast, which as you all know, like, or as you probably don't know, we got a small window in order to record and then get the podcast out.
Right.
But, so this should let you know we're committed to getting this podcast to you guys and remaining
no matter
consistent,
what. No matter what.
But that conversation we had before, we need that. Like,
yeah.
Well, I need
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, no, we all I'll be talking to myself too. So, yeah.
But as always, we thank you guys for supporting our podcast. Whether you are listening on the various DSPs, or if you are viewing it from YouTube, you can always reach out to us. Shoot us a tweet at @Field2 The Real Podcast. No. Shoot us a tweet at Field2 He won.
Yeah.
Lord, why did Twitter do that to us?
He won. Yeah.
I promise y'all, I'm gonna stop complaining about it. If you want to hit us up on IG, it's at Field2 The Real Podcast. Go subscribe and like our videos on our YouTube page, Field2 The Real Podcast. Or shoot us an email, Field2 The Real Podcast @gmail.com.
And share, guys. Share.
Yeah. Tell somebody about the podcast. Let them listen to it, and hopefully they'll like it.
And be excited. We've got something else going on too, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember, we have our Coaches Pep Talk.
Yes.
That we currently started. We just started it last week, so go check that out. But we're also adding another feature, right?
Yes.
We're adding another one.
The post game.
The post game. Yes. So look forward to seeing that beautiful face.
Yeah. But, we love you guys. We certainly appreciate, you guys riding with us.
Yeah.
And, like Stephanie said, please share.
Please share.
Please share.
Yeah.
We want this thing to grow.
We think we do good stuff, and we want people to hear. Yeah, definitely. Come on, y'all. Yeah.
But as always, we love y'all. Peace.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras